Year after year, Pittsburgh tops the surveys as one of America's most livable big cities. Amazing views, great people, cool old neighborhoods, arts, culture. You know what? I'm up for some of that. But when we're talking livable, I'm thinking edible. And on that score, Pittsburgh wins big. There's a major food renaissance going on, and we're headed to the street that's the center of it all. It's Penn Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA. Come on, let's eat the street. Allegheny River, Monongahela River, Ohio River. With 3 major waterways to transport iron from the hills and coal for fuel, it's no wonder that Pittsburgh became, well, Pittsburgh, the greatest steel town the world ever knew. Most of the mills are now gone. These days, Pittsburgh is better known for things like robotics and medical research. But the ethnic communities that settled here during the Industrial Revolution are still the bedrock and still giving Pittsburgh cuisine its special flavor. On Penn Avenue, one native son is paying tribute to his hometown's culinary roots by giving old classics a smart, contemporary update. Chef Richard Deschamps named his restaurant after Pittsburgh's reputation as a meat and potatoes kind of town. He makes food your grandma would recognize, but it's definitely not the way grandma cooked it. Let's dig in. So we're here at Meat and Potatoes off Penn Avenue. Tell me a little bit about what you guys serve here.
A lot of fish. No, it's not just meat, it's seafood, a lot of vegetarian options. The name really referenced comfort style food. I kind of wanted something unpretentious, fun, saying give me a drink and a good hunk of meat, and I'm happy.
Awesome. What are we gonna do today?
We are actually making a pot roast with whipped Yukon Gold mashed potatoes and a horseradish gremolata.
Ooh, sounds good. So what do we do to get started?
We're actually gonna start by breaking our chuck roast down.
All right, so you start with a great piece of meat.
So I'm gonna cut them into 4 portions.
Very generous portions. So where do we go from here?
Well, we're gonna truss it, so we keep it in a nice little bundle. It keeps all the juices in.
Beautiful.
So. All right, next thing we're gonna do is actually get this pot fired up, get it nice and hot, and then we're gonna season. We'll start with blended oil, which is vegetable oil and a little olive oil. I'm gonna rub them down. Put some pepper on that. And put a little sea salt. All right, the pot's getting nice and hot. Put a little oil in there.
Look at that.
Probably gonna take about 4 to 6 minutes on each side.
To really lock in those flavors, you need really, really high heat. Leave it there, let it just caramelize, and then flip it over and kind of do the same thing on the other side, right?
Yeah, just a little attention to details that make something from a good meal to a great meal.
Yeah. So these are looking good, right?
I think they're about ready, Chuck. I think next thing we need is our mirepoix.
Celery, carrot, onion.
We roast them off. We cook it for about 4 minutes. Then we deglaze with red wine. Add crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, add it in with the beef.
Look at that.
Now at this point, we're gonna top it off with chicken stock. Next, we need to add some herbs.
Beautiful.
Some rosemary, fresh thyme.
Get that flavor out.
Exactly. And some parsley stems. We're gonna actually add a piece of parchment.
Real classic French. I haven't seen this in a while.
It holds in the moisture, but it actually lets some of the liquid reduce.
So pop this on.
Put it on.
Pop this in the oven.
350 for about 3.5 hours.
All right. That's done.
Let's start the gremolata.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna start by chopping fresh parsley.
Gremolata's fresh condiment. I mean, classically, it's used with veal. Why do you choose to put gremolata on this dish?
I like the freshness of the gremolata. We braise this beef for 3.5 to 4 hours, and it breaks it up a little bit.
Beautiful.
Zest some lemon.
Squeeze a lemon juice in there.
1 clove of garlic.
Horseradish for some kick and something that goes so well with meat and potatoes.
A little bit of olive oil. Spoon it up.
All right, so gremolata's done. What's next?
Let's check the pot roast.
Yeah, baby. Wow, like magic. I mean, the sauce is reduced, it's rich, it's thick. You don't even need to plate this. I'll eat it right out of the pot.
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this out and then we're gonna strain the sauce.
Strain it all through. It's nice and thick. All right, so sauce back on the heat. And where do we go next?
Let's get these veggies going.
All right.
First thing we're gonna do is add a little blended oil.
Toss these onions in.
Let them go for about 2 to 3, just to add a little color to it. Carrots,
Celery, fennel.
peas. Now all I'm gonna do is add our sauce for our veggies.
Beauty.
We're gonna add a little bit of butter.
What else are we serving this with?
We're doing Yukon Gold mashed potatoes.
Yeah, baby.
We start with Yukon Golds, peeled them, start with cold water, a little bit of sea salt, and cook them till they're pork tender. strained them, put them through a ricer. Once we put them through a food mill, we put them back on the stove. I add butter to them and a little bit of creme fraiche. I think we're ready to go. Let's light this sucker up. Take the string off. Start with the potatoes, our pot roast,
Yeah.
and the sauce.
Wow.
Last, a little gremolata. And that's
Wow.
our pot roast.
Dig in.
Bon appetit.
Look at that. Dude, this is some serious meat and potatoes. This is awesome. Sauce is amazing. The gremolata just takes it up another notch. I mean, this is something that Grandma would have never thought of. And like you said, you know, there's so much richness in that sauce and those potatoes. You need something to brighten it up, something to wake it up. And every bite is just like, it is so good.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much. One last bite. Who am I kidding? Coming up, every city has an underbelly, and turns out in Pittsburgh, it's delicious. So how big is this one?
It's about a 120-pound yellowfin tuna.
Next to downtown, Penn Avenue runs through a historic district that's been the area's wholesale market district for over a century. It's called the Strip. Lately, it's become a hotspot for restaurants and entertainment, but you'll still see elements of the old days. In fact, you can see both sides of the Strip in one spot. At Penn Avenue Fish Company, Chef Henry Dewey runs an honest-to-gosh wholesale fish market. But he'll cook your fish right on the spot. Fresh idea. I'm hooked. So how big is this one?
It's about a 120-pound yellowfin tuna.
So, I mean, this is really kind of half restaurant, half fish market. Very unique. I'm assuming there aren't many like this in Pittsburgh.
Now, not a whole lot. I heard we're the only retail store that cut whole #1 tunas. Everything's driven from that fresh fish counter. If you get something really nice in, you know, run it as a special. Gets people in here making them some real nice fresh fish sandwiches. They say, maybe I should
Buy
get
something for
something-
dinner.
Yeah. So it's pretty flexible, pretty unique, a lot of fun.
So we got a beautiful yellowfin Atlantic tuna. What are we gonna do with this today?
We're going to make a barbecued toro tuna sandwich, spicy guacamole, and jalapeno sweet potato chips on a nice ciabatta bun.
Let's do it.
First thing we're gonna do is take this collar off.
So we're looking to get the toro, basically fatty underbelly of the tuna. Obviously, it's kind of like a prized piece of the fish. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, a lot of really prized toro comes from bluefin tuna. This is a smaller yellowfin tuna, but the yellowfin is real versatile. You can grill it and you can eat it raw.
Cool. So get the collar off, and really just to kind of make it easier to get in there, I guess.
Yeah, the collar's just a big bone. It's just gonna get in your way when you cut it.
It's a beaut. Beautiful. There's still a lot of great,
Oh yeah,
great meat on this, right?
Yeah, we'll scrape that. So next we're gonna take the loin off to get to the toro.
Beautiful.
There we go.
Beautiful.
So this is the toro right here. As you can see, real nice fat content going along down here. The skin we're gonna take off, but other than that, it's completely edible. But we're just gonna cut this in a couple different pieces. 2 of these will make a sandwich.
All we gotta do is grill this bad boy, right? Let's do it. These 2
help.
pieces right here.
Those are yours, these are mine.
Beautiful.
All right, we're gonna salt and pepper it.
Look at that.
You'll hear it sizzling and popping. That's that fat burning off the side.
This looks great. So, what do we do to get this ginger barbecue sauce started?
I got a lot of crazy ingredients. We'll start off with some butter, onions, some coffee, cola beverage, brown sugar, a little garlic, a little celery, some tomato paste, apple cider vinegar, pickled ginger juice, cilantro, hot pepper sauce, house tomato sauce, some chili powder, some Dijon mustard, Thai fish sauce. Then we just mix it all together.
Slather it on thick. Beautiful.
There you go. So we're gonna pop this in there. Fire this ciabatta bun in the oven too. So Chuck, can you hand me a couple plates?
Yes, sir. There you go.
All right.
Beauty. Oh, look at that. All right, so we've got our toro, the barbecue sauce.
Grilled off like medium rare.
We've got the guacamole, the sweet potato chips with a little bit of jalapeno salt, touch of cinnamon, arugula, and a bun. I can kind of see where we're going from here, but you take it away.
We're getting close to the Sandwichville.
Let's do it.
All right, we're gonna put these portion of tuna on here.
Wow, both pieces in that sandwich.
Oh yeah, we build them big here.
Yeah, baby.
Some of that nice guacamole, ripe avocados.
How do you make the guacamole?
We do a real simple guacamole. You get a nice ripe avocado, house-made tomato salsa, some fresh cilantro, a little bit of sour cream, some togarashi, which is a Japanese chili spice rub, a little bit of lime juice. Whip it all together.
Boom.
Simple. A little arugula.
Beauty.
And some nice potato chips.
Oh, the chips inside the sandwich.
Inside the sandwich.
Beautiful. This is great. All right, let's give it a try. A lot of things I love in this. I mean, obviously you got sweet potato, it's crispy, but that little hit of cinnamon, just enough heat, you know what I mean? Barbecue sauce is perfect. And you know what? I think it is key to have that little fish sauce in there.
Yeah.
But ultimately what I'm tasting is tuna, man. And it's
But
just,
you can't make that without the tuna belly. And you wouldn't get the tuna belly if you didn't have the tuna.
I mean, this is a great spot, great food. I'm really, really jealous. Thanks a lot. Coming up, a different approach to lawn care. Just eat the weeds. The real name is stinging nettles.
Stinging nettle.
They're prickly.
Nobody really eats them.
From the revitalized downtown to its historic neighborhoods, Pittsburgh has a way of bringing new life to old spaces. One of the hottest spots in town is appropriately enough inside an 1860s firehouse on Penn Avenue. At Bar Marco, Chef Jamilka Borges keeps the crowds fired up with her imaginative cooking. It's called a bar, but you've never had bar food like this. I can't wait to try it. I'm here at Bar Marco on the area that they call the Strip, right?
Yep.
Give me a lowdown of the place in general.
We strive to be like fun, loud, basically do what we love to do. Whatever we want to eat, like we serve to people, so.
I think that's the best way, you know?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the building, because I mean, right off the bat, when you walk in, this building, it's out there, it's on its own, but it's definitely unique.
Our building is from 1860. It used to be old firehouse for years.
A lot of
Also,
history.
A lot of history.
So what's the dish we're gonna make today?
So we're gonna be making some gemelli pasta with nettle pesto and some roasted radishes.
Talk to me a little bit about nettles. I mean, the real name is stinging nettles.
Stinging nettles.
They're prickly.
Nobody really eats them, but they're everywhere.
They're
in
abundant.
Yep.
They're great for pesto. I mean, that's
Soup.
probably soup,
Soup.
pesto. So what do we do to get started?
So we have some water ready, and we're just gonna blanch them for about 3 minutes.
Okay, that's on the go.
That's on the go. We can start with roasted radishes.
Okay.
So we're gonna get some olive oil, radishes, salt.
Yes.
Simple. Let this go.
So what do you think? Nettles are ready?
Nettles are ready, so we can get them out.
And all you want to do is make sure that they're fully submerged in this ice water. So you're keeping the bright, vibrant green colors.
All right, so with the nettle pesto, just make sure that you like take as much water as possible.
So squeeze out the water.
Squeeze out the water. Get it going. So lemon juice, some pine nuts,
Nuts.
olive oil.
So I mean, this is pretty much a standard pesto, only we're using nettles. I mean,
Exactly.
you could use rapini, basil, arugula.
Anything you want.
You could go nuts with this.
Yep.
So it's not completely
It's not completely
pureed,
puree.
right?
Still have some like texture. Fold your shallots.
A little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano.
And
Butter.
Soften butter. Then add some salt.
There you go. What's next?
Basically gonna get another pan. Drop our pasta.
Boiling salted
Boiling.
water. Tell me about the gemelli pasta.
It's a dry pasta. We make it in house in a pasta strudel. It's a really simple like semolina water pasta. That's it. We can make a lot of different shapes. And this one is one of my favorites. Just like almost like a curly hair kind
Yeah.
of feel, like a little curl.
What do you
And
know
it
about
just-
curly hair?
Yeah, right.
So pasta's ready.
Pasta's ready. And I like to finish it in the pan.
We've got everything in there. Where do we go next?
The plate.
Let's do it. Let's plate
it.
it up. Oh, it looks gorgeous. Let's try it out. Wow. The flavor is amazing. You got a little bit of the lemon juice. The pesto's refreshing. The nettles, I love how you take a weed that's really kind of overtaking most lawns and a lot of green spaces, and you make a pesto that's absolutely delicious. Using what you have, I'm making something great, and I think that's the inspiration behind good food. It's fantastic. Pittsburgh is like a city of small towns. It's a patchwork quilt of neighborhoods that have kept their character and identity through the years. Follow Penn Avenue a few miles out of downtown, and you'll come to the Garfield and East Liberty neighborhoods, and a stylish restaurant whose name pretty much sums up this part of town, Salt of the Earth. Chef Chad Townsend keeps his focus on Western Pennsylvania ingredients. In fact, a lot of what he cooks comes from a community farm right up the hill from the restaurant. Today, I get to be a farmhand. So tell me a little bit about why we're here.
So this is Garfield Community Farms. The project was started as a community garden, and their attempt in collaboration with us is to grow good vegetables, to give people access to those good vegetables, and then also give the restaurant access to great vegetables.
The cool thing to mention is that we're actually pretty much downtown Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's like 2 blocks from the restaurant, and it's 10 blocks from Center City. It's a kind of an oasis.
So what are we gonna be making today?
We're gonna do rabbit. We'll do it with some Swiss chard, some carrots, Hakurei turnips.
So what do we need here?
We're definitely gonna get some of this Swiss chard.
It definitely makes it fun where you can actually just walk here a couple blocks for a special of the day or just for inspiration, really.
Absolutely.
Chard, done. What else?
Carrots. Yanking some of those guys out. Adorable little guys, too.
Chard, carrots. What's next?
Hakurei turnips.
All right, let's do it.
So these are Hakurei turnips. Turnips are probably my favorite vegetable besides tomatoes anyway, so.
So turnips, green onion, we've got some carrots, some chard. We're looking pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Let's start cooking. Cool. Coming up. So this is the recipe for success. Look at that. I'll just have the rabbit ribs. I'm not a big eater. You can't get much closer to the farm than that, right?
Right up the street, that's great.
So how did you guys come up with the name Salt of the Earth?
Salt of the earth is kind of that saying, he's a salt of the earth guy. That's what the spirit of Pittsburgh is, this blue collar worker atmosphere. And so we wanted to put delicious food that was picture worthy in a setting where it wasn't this big fancy atmosphere.
So tell me a little bit about the dish we're gonna make today.
When we do rabbit, we like to kind of treat all the parts a little bit differently. We'll make sausage with the ground rabbit meat. We'll cook the loin and then do a little rack.
Rabbit ribs.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do we do to get started?
This is the rabbit meat, and we grind it.
Which you probably call the other white meat.
Absolutely.
Pop that right in there?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Most of the sausages that we do, we add a little bit of dry milk. The lean quality of the rabbit requires an addition of some fat, and it will bind it as well so it doesn't have that kind of mealy texture. I like to add pimenton, smoked
Nice.
paprika,
Pepper?
celery seed.
Ooh, nice. Garlic?
Then we go.
Beautiful. All right, so where do we go next?
So then we go into our sausage stuffer here.
Beauty.
Put it in this little stuffer, and we stuff it in either a sheep or a hog casing.
And I mean, this is universally how you make sausage. So, I mean, we're using rabbit, but it could be pork, it could be beef. You could kind of go anywhere with that.
And then link it up.
Beautiful. So sausage, pretty much ready to rock. What are we gonna do with this now?
So I usually brown it in a pan. We use grapeseed oil. Works great because it's a neutral flavor and has a really high smoking point. And just finish cooking it through in the pan. And then while that's happening, cook the other parts of the rabbit and the vegetables.
Beautiful, let's do it.
Here's our delicious turnips from Garfield and rabbit stock made from all the bones.
Beautiful.
And so I'll give those guys a few moments and I'll just add the carrots. Start cooking our rabbit there.
Those were already cooked, right? We're just browning them a little bit.
A lot of the proteins, especially like rabbit, we cook them sous vide.
So sous vide is basically, you have a bath of warm water and you take your protein, sous vide it. So basically you vacuum seal it in a plastic bag and then you just pop it in the water to whatever temperature you want and you just leave it in there until it's cooked. And the beauty of it is that you're really kind of keeping all the flavors in there. Look at that. I'll just have the rabbit ribs. I'm not a big eater. All right, so vegetables are good, the loin, ribs, sausage is cooked. Tell me a little bit about this sauce.
We take dried apricots, rehydrate them in white wine, shallots, a little bit of water, salt, and we puree it. Pass it through a chinois, and then we have our nice smooth apricot puree. And then miso, because it adds a little bit of fruitiness and salinity to it, and it kind of balances out the sweetness of it. And then once our vegetables are done, we'll just kind of quickly dip our Swiss chard in this hot liquid just so it softens a little bit, and then we'll plate it.
It looks beautiful. Let's try it out.
Yeah.
Was there any thought that I wasn't gonna go right for the rabbit ribs? Tiny and delicious. There's a bit of salt kick in there, but it's really nice and crispy and crunchy. That Swiss chard, just a little bit of stock in that butter. Man, this is amazing. I know rabbit's not something that people are super familiar with, but once you give it a try, it's one of those aha moments where you're like, wow, how have I not been eating this? Man, thank you so much. I mean, there's actually one bite left, and I'm having it.
There you go.
You're the man.